Hello action figure fans, this is HammerTron here with a new action figure review for you. Or maybe this is not quite an action figure, it's more of a model. But this is Joy Toy Battle for the Star, the Cult of San Reja, Ailie. So here it says Battle for the Star in tiny little English words there. It's Chinese words. Jan Xing Chen. So 3 Chinese characters. Jan, the first one, that means fighting. Xing Chen is the Chinese word for star, so Battle for the Stars. This particular series in Battle for the Star is the Cult of San Reja. And this character is called Ailie. Here's the front of the box. Now I'm a little disappointed it's a box and not a window box, but it's a model kit. Or not a kit, but just a model. So it's a 1/18 scale. Here is the top of the box where it says Joy Toy. At the bottom it says Joy Toy. On this side it gives us some warning information. This is not a toy, this is a model. It's suggested for people 17 years old and higher. Here's some warnings. Don't bend it too far because it's plastic, and if you bend it too far it'll break. Keep it away from fire. This side has some manufacturing information. Here's the specific item description and the name of the company, a Chinese company. The name is longer than just Joy Toy. And here's the address of this Chinese company. Headquarters somewhere in Beijing in the Chaoyang district, which is a district to the east of the Forbidden City, and that's where a lot of countries have their embassies in Beijing. And here are some pictures on the back. Now when we order these things, the whole box is wrapped in plastic, but when I ordered it I heard some rattling, so I opened it immediately to see if it was okay, and it was okay. But we opened it up and I'm very happy to see some plastic in there. So there is some plastic in the packaging, so it helps protect the item. And it comes in a plastic tray. There's 2 levels, so it keeps everything in place. And we get some information here. It says Joy Toy. And here is a picture. It tells us that all the accessories are in the picture with this action figure. And this side, it shows us how it is assembled. And they suggest that if it's actually broken, that we can glue it back together, and it shows us what parts do come apart. Although I don't think I want to be pulling this apart very often or at all, but it is possible to take it apart in order to get to the different parts of the body, or to add the accessories. Some of these accessories we do have to take the arms and legs off in order to put them on. So that's very nice. And here we have Ailie with a couple of hands and the accessories. So I'll take this out and review the figure in just a moment. Here are the accessories we get with this Ailie model action figure. We have a pair of tiny little hands. These are gripping hands. The gripping hands have different sizes to grip onto different things. We'll see the things that Ailie can hold, but very small little hands. And there's a hole at the wrist, so these plug into pegs that are on the action figure. So very small. And then we have a sword. So nicely sculpted, nicely painted. This side here is flat, but here's the blade part. It's not very sharp. and it's a plastic, but not a pliable plastic, so we don't want to try to bend it. It'll snap if we try to bend it. Looks very nice. Then we have a rifle with wrapping around it, maybe holding the scope in place, and a little circle for the trigger finger there, and there's a handle. At the end, some kind of spikes, flat surface at the end, so it's not a drilled barrel. So it looks like a nice, nicely sculpted and nicely painted rifle. And we have a little rabbit, a stuffed animal rabbit. Very interesting. If we look at the eyes there, it has a couple of eye patches with lenses on it. So I guess the stuffed animal rabbit is dressed for a post-apocalyptic future kind of environment. And there's one ear sticking up. This is meant to be held in the hand. Very pliable plastic. Well, not very pliable at all, but it does bend a little bit, but we want to be careful, otherwise something will snap. But it's pretty nice. And then we get a machine gun with a little loop for the trigger finger, and very nicely sculpted, and a little bit of paint on it. So nice set of accessories, but these are made of lightweight plastic, and so we don't want to bend them. They're not pliable, so we want to be careful as we handle them. Here is Ailie. Let's see how tall this figure is. Going up to the top of the hair, or the two hair buns, looks like a little more than 4 inches, or a little more than 10 centimeters tall. So maybe slightly bigger than a 1/18 scale action figure. But if we take a look, now it's very, very lightweight, because this is really more of a model than an action figure. So I'm going to be very gentle with this thing. Now if we look at the face, there's a mask there. If we look at the eyes, looks like 3 little lenses, or 3 little holes on the eye patches, just like the stuffed bunny. And nice painting around the face there, or the face mask, and the hair. If we look carefully, we can see there's an ear. It seems to be painted kind of a gray color. Also a little ear here. So not flesh tones. But nice sculpting on the hair. Nice painting. And this jacket is an extra piece here. Not very pliable plastic, but in order to put this on, we do have to disassemble it, like pull off the arm, and then we'll be able to pull this vest off. There's also a little necklace there. So if we want to remove the necklace, we have to pull the head off. And down here, there's a belt. So in order to put the belt on, we'd have to take the body apart. And then a couple of pieces on the thighs here. Now according to the instructions, in order to take these off, or put them on, we'd have to remove the legs at the knee in order to slide these parts off of the thighs. So that's a lot of work to customize the figure. So I might try to pull it apart, but the best way to do that is maybe heat it up a little bit with a hair dryer to make it warmer and more pliable. There's a lot of sculpted detail on the body here. Nice details on the sleeves. Lots of tiny little details, and it's all painted. So they did a lot of nice work making it look nice and painting the details. So very impressive work. And here's the legs. More of a shiny plastic or paint on the legs. There we have knee pads and a lot of details on the boots. Lots of impressive detail there. On the bottom we have some treads and peg holes on the heels. And the details continue onto the back here. So they covered this tiny little figure with lots and lots of even tinier little details. And then here's something. I think this is to hold a weapon, maybe the sword. So very nice. Now let's look at the articulation. Now I'm going to be very gentle because it's very lightweight and it feels kind of fragile. So with the head, we can look up and down. We can turn side to side. Some tilting, goes all the way around. At the shoulders, we can go out this far, so not very far. And we can go around. We can go all the way around. Now I'm doing this slowly so I can be gentle. So far it feels good. Alright, no bicep cut. I do have a single jointed elbow. Goes that far. And then we have a swivel at each elbow. So that's working. And that is working. And at the wrist, we can turn the wrist. So that is working. I haven't found any hinges, and I'm not willing to push very hard to see if there's actually a hinge, so I'm not sure that there's actually a hinge on the wrist here. Now we have an upper diaphragm. We have a diaphragm cut there, where we cannot really go forward and back on the diaphragm, not very much, but we can turn. We do have a waist cut where we can turn a little bit, but the waist cut is on a ball joint, so that moves a lot more. Seems to go very far on that side. Very nice. Seems to go to the sides much more than front and back, so it's a little limited. And then at the hips, we can do the splits this far. That's pretty good. And kick forward just that far, and kick back a little bit. Kick forward that far, and kick back just a little bit. Now it looks like there are upper thigh cuts here. Kind of looks like there'd be an upper thigh cut, but I have not been able to get it to bend at all or turn at all. So when I try to twist, it's only twisting in the hip. So maybe there is no upper thigh cut, but I'm not going to try to push any harder than that. We have double jointed knees. So that is pretty impressive there. Just move nice and slow and gently. There we go. So the feet will get in the way of each other. So we'll straighten that out. Now there's no boot cut, not that I have noticed. With the ankles, we can go down this far and go up this far. We do have ankle pivot. So that is working. And that is working. Maybe it doesn't go very far, but it does work a little bit. And there's actually toe articulation. If we look carefully, we can see the cut in the plastic. On the bottom we can see where the hinge is. But I have not been able to get the toes to articulate at all. So they're stuck. Now maybe if I use a hairdryer to heat it up, it'll make it easier to move the toe joints, but I don't really need to move the toe joints. I think it's fine the way it is. Although the toe joints are pointed up just a little bit, but I can't really get them to move. So it feels very fragile in my hand, and I've been moving slowly and carefully. And so far, nothing has broken. So I'm very happy about not breaking anything, but it still feels very lightweight and very fragile, so I'm being extra careful with this. Let's see if I can get this to stand again. And there she is. Here is Ailie next to a pair of 4-inch action figures. On the right is an adventurer from an Animal Planet set I reviewed a while ago. And on the left is the Fortnite Jonesy action figure by Jazzwares. And I think the Jazzwares 4-inch action figures are better because they're made of a thicker or more dense or stronger plastic. So I don't feel like I have to be extra careful when bending the joints on that on Fortnite action figures. But this Joy Toy Battle for the Stars, the Cult of San Reja figure certainly looks very nice. I like the design. I just wish the plastic were thicker or more dense or stronger. Here is Ailie next to a 6-inch action figure on the left, the Fortnite Legendary Series Havoc action figure by Jazzwares, and a 7-inch action figure on the right, the Masters of the Universe Masterverse He-Man action figure by Mattel. And the 4-inch scale works well with the 6 or 7-inch action figures if those are meant to be giants or monsters or something. So it's nice to make dioramas with mixed scales when we can pretend that they are meant to be giants and monsters. The HammerTron Sledgehammer rating for this Joy Toy Battle for the Stars, the Cult of San Reja Ailie figure it's okay. Now perhaps my rating is too high considering a couple of the joints were not working. I think there are upper thigh cuts, but I can't quite tell, but nothing's working there. And the toe joints are not moving. All the other joints are working except for those joints. Now this is not really an action figure, it's more of a model. It's a model of a figure, so we have to be extremely careful because it's a very lightweight plastic. But I do appreciate getting some directions like this that show how it can be disassembled or how it's expected to be disassembled. And they do at least provide some warning on the box. They tell us that it is actually a model and not an action figure, so we have to be gentle. So I appreciate the warning. What is surprising is they don't have a cross-sell showing the other figures that are available as part of this series of figures or models. So they did put in some effort to present it nicely and give us the information we needed. I'm just a little disappointed it didn't all work out correctly the first time around. but it does look very neat. Maybe some people will like how it looks and other people don't care for how it looks. I think it's neat. So because of the appearance, it certainly has my attention, and it's a pretty good looking figure. So thank you for watching my review video. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you think of this figure, whether it's an actual action figure or model, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future reviews. I'll see you next time, action figure fans.